Hi everybody. This video is about how to improve your speaking English in 10 days. We will set up a possible schedule for you to improve your speaking English in these 10 days. And in this video, what you're gonna learn. You will learn what is number one, input and output process, and set up a schedule for day one. How to set a target. Set a schedule for day two. Make use of an audiobook. What is an audiobook? Then we set up a target for day three. How to use an audiobook. And then day 4 and day 10, we apply what we set up and put it into applications. All right, then we starting from the first things, input and output process. A lot of people, they find problems to speak English natively. Speaking English is simply an output. Without any input, it is impossible for a person to speak English well. Especially many of the family in Hong Kong are not native speakers in English. So, in order to help yourself to get a proper output, you have to listen more. So, to improve speaking English, we need to listen more. But we can't simply get a book or watch a video, watch a movie, so we could expect we can improve our speaking English. We have to set up some planning. And this planning is target oriented. All right, then we go to day one. Set up a clear target. We emphasize without a motivation, learning process could never start. So you have to bear in mind that making learning an enjoyable hobby is really important. And also, don't try to aim a big target. A small and achievable target is really important. During the day 4 and day 10 agenda, we will teach you how to set up a small but achievable target. And also you have to insist this target. Once you set up a target, you stick to it, and then you do it no matter what. So that's why a feasible target is really important. For example, if you spend an hour a day, it is quite impossible for you to insist. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even a bit longer, it could be more feasible. So, you have to bear in mind a small and achievable target help you to insist. And your target should not just inside your mind. You have to write it down. Write down your ultimate target. This ultimate target, you need to break down into weekly targets. And how do you help yourself to set it up? And how to do it. And then on day 2, we make use of audiobooks. What is an audiobook? An audiobook is somebody who reads the story for you. Instead of reading, you use your ears to hear the story. A lot of people, they hesitate reading because, one, there's a lot of vocabularies they don't familiar with, which stop them from reading because it is out of the comfort zone. So audiobook can help you to overcome this obstacle because you don't have to have an understanding, or you don't have to understand how to read those vocabularies, and that person will keep reading for you. Then how do we select audiobook? For my own preference, I will try to find an easy one for myself. Let's take a look at some audiobook I have been using for my students. This storybook is Jane Eyre from Black Cat series. Why do I select this audiobook? First of all, they have a very clear content. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts in this audiobook. Then I can set up an agenda, and each week I can use one chapter, one part, to train my listening skills and my speaking skills. So a lot of storybook, first of all, they don't have an audiobook. Second, they don't have a very clear chapters to follow. And Black Cat series has a lot of benefit. And first of all, they included a CD, an audio CD for you to listen. And also, each chapter is rather short. You can see there's about 5 to 6 pages for each chapter, which is easy to manage when you listen to it every day. And also, they have a lot of different levels. You can choose the one that is proper for you. But sometimes it's really hard for you to find a book you like. One of the reasons I choose Black Cat series because I can borrow it from the library. And I can try to read a couple of books and select one that I feel interested in. Buy it if you plan to use it for your 7 days routine. Alright then, how to use this audiobook? You have to bear in mind one very important thing. Every habit is established only because it's easy to access. In order to get an audiobook more easy for us to access, first of all, I will convert the CD, the audio CD, into MP3. Now, some of the audiobook, they already converted the file into MP3. Why MP3 is good, or why MP3 is more easy to access? Because a lot of mobile phones, they built in a player so you can play MP3 without any technical problem. Scan the book you selected, and after you scan it, you can read it over your phone too. So it's really important for you to make use of your phone, scan this audiobook, and store the audiobook into your phone. So then how about day 4 to day 10? And day 4 and day 10, you need to set up a routine. What kinds of routine? A daily routine for listening and a daily routine for speaking. And I want to show you how I set up a daily routine for my students. Take a look at this. This is a daily routine I set up for my student, a junior student, with a storybook, Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And this daily routine including listening, including reading a sentence every day. What my student gonna do? I have set up a target of 8 weeks agenda for my student. And this is the sample agenda for week 2. Listening activities, hold chapter 2, and listen to this audiobook 30 minutes a day. When you're listening to an audiobook, don't sit down and pay full attention to the audiobook. You just play the audiobook like playing music and keep playing it. And I think it's proper to play at least 30 minutes a day. And during the time of playing this audiobook, you can do whatever you want. You have to insist, play this audiobook 30 minutes a day at the beginning. Because later on, it's more helpful if you could play like 60 minutes a day. And after listening to the audiobook, you have to read aloud. Day one, mostly it is Monday. My student will read the first sentence. After listening to the audiobook, my student will read one of the sentences only. And this sentence is something I selected for my student. And then day 2 of the week, my student will read sentence number 1 plus sentence number 2. Then he or she will practice not only sentence 1, but also sentence 2. And then day 3, I will add one more sentence for my students, which is here. When you're reading aloud, don't just read it. Use your phone to make a recording. Making a recording could help you to understand how well you read. And then day 4 to day 7. Okay? Day 4, you read sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, and sentence 4. And day 5 to day 7, you just keep practicing these 5 sentences all together and make a recording. I request my student to send it back to me so we can share their achievement and I can correct their pronunciation if necessary. So it is really helpful to set up an agenda like this. Okay. And that's all for setting up a feasible agenda for day 1 to day 10. And our target is to improve our speaking English in these 10 days. And of course, if you really want to get a good achievement, insist until you finish the whole book. A storybook like this, Jane Eyre, you will have about 9 chapters, 9 different parts. And I will spend a week to deal with a part. And then after 9 weeks, I will finish the whole book. And after I finish a book, then I start another one. If you keep this agenda and schedule, you will find you get improvement in just a couple of months. And your speaking English, your listening skill will get a big improvement if you stick to your plan. Remember, know your target, set up a schedule, stick to the plan. It's really, really important for you to achieve your target. A lot of people, they will give up in the middle, so they could never get success. Remember, a small target is really important for you to establish a hobby. Don't aim a lot, but at the end, you achieve nothing. Aim a little bit, and a little bit. Every day, a small piece, and at the end, you get a big picture. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.